there's this
Van Helsing.
plague in this town. Yeah, a lot of the outfits have a very Van Helsing looking look to them. You know, this the tricorder hats and the long trench coats.
Mm.
But there's like this plague in this town from people using this blood. Because in this town, people are obsessed with using blood for like healing wounds.
Blood?
There's this
I'm just gonna say
church
that's
in
like
this
these.
town.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Using blood to heal wounds. I mean, like that's how you
Well,
get fucking sicker.
well, there's stuff that is like super spoilery
Mm.
about the whole thing, but
Does someone get
the
AIDS? Shit.
they don't so much get AIDS, but using blood, it's not. There's a source of the blood, and I can't really say where it's from because it's a spoiler. But the uh, people use blood for all sorts of things. It's in the town, and it's like people consume more blood in the town than they do alcohol or anything else.
Are they all fucking vampires?
Uh, there's a there's definitely a vampire vibe. I mean, even you as the player, you heal by using these blood vials, which you just inject into your hide during the fight.
What is this game? I can't play that game. I can't handle blood.
You can there's also one of the ways you can heal is it kind of encourages you to, rather than play defensively, to just charge in and start slashing away.
The biohazard container has been
There's like
located.
this, when you take damage, your health bar is normally red. When you take damage, the amount of health you've lost, that turns this yellow color, and you have a brief moment
10
before
seconds to go.
that yellow color goes away and it's kind of a black empty and
Insertion in
lost
5
as much health.
seconds.
But during that brief window where it's yellow, you can just attack an
Biohazard
enemy, and
container
as you
located.
attack
Proceed
them,
with
you recover
location.
health.
What?
Yeah, so it kind of encourages you to just get in there and just start wailing on people.
It's hack and slash.
It can punish. Yeah, it does punish you though if you get like super greedy while trying to do it, because a lot of the enemies can kill you in one shot if you're not careful. But it's like super rewarding when you just get in there. You use a lot of different weapons. A lot of the ones in your left hand are the guns, so like you're using pistols, flintlocks, blunderbusses. You can get a cannon at one point.
What?
Yeah, no, a lot of crazy stuff. The coolest part, though, I think, is your primary weapon you use, which there's a lot of different ones, but they're all of them have two different forms, and they're like transformable. Some of them are pretty simple, like one's an axe that is kind of one-handed, but you can turn it into a form where it's has a much longer pole and longer reach. One's a cane that becomes a razor whip. One's this kind of saw blade thing attached to this handle that you can extend out. My personal favorite is, well, you have to beat the game to get it, essentially. So it's more helpful in New Game Plus. It's a curved sword that it's got this, it's kind of a scimitar shape, but not quite, and it seems weird what its shape is, but you have this weird, because you have the rest of the weapon, the other part of it on your back, when it's not in use. So what you do is when you transform it, you take the blade, you attach it to that back part, and it flips out into a big scythe.
Resume securing the container once the threat is neutralized. Stop securing the container.
Okay.
And there's also some cool, you can get really detailed with the faces and stuff, station, and there's lots of people who make, you know, monstrosities in the character creator.
Oh, so you could, okay.
Yeah, you know, you can make like a blue guy with a humongous nose or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen people take full advantage of that. Someone made Thornberry.
Securing the container once secure the biohazard container.
Thornberries. Someone made Eustace Bag from Countford.
Oh my god.
Op 4 eliminated.
Yeah, no, the best part about the Eustace thing was that, you know, they gave him that whole huge chin he's got. You can give your character glasses, so I mean, it looked like one-to-one just like him. And there's also a mallet in the game, so you can go around and whack things with your mallet.
Oh my god. This game was ridiculous.
But yeah, so there's this whole plague that's in the town when you start the game, which apparently it's something that happens a lot, and that's the whole reason they have these hunters going around, because there's this plague of the beast, which basically turns people into bestial almost turns them into like werewolves is what they resemble.
I can't. Imagine if this was like something that was our reality. This game would suck ass to live in. Imagine having drunk blood and shit. Fuck that game.
Well, you're from your character is like from out of town. They came here looking for something called the Pale Blood.
Is he a fucking vampire? Just tell me.
Well, here's the thing. For a game that is like heavily inspired by like aesthetically like Dracula, there aren't actually any vampires in the game. But one could argue that the townspeople and yourself, because you use blood wheel, is kind of vampire-like. There is like a area of the game, this Castle Canehurst, where you find characters who kind of have that Eastern European nobility sort of thing, kind of like Dracula. But again, they never actually say the word vampire or anything.
Alright. I have the game. Is it online, you said?
Well, it's well, for Bloodborne there are two options. You can play online, play offline. Both of them are single-player experiences, with some exceptions. So when you play online, you get things like there's these little messages that pop up around that people can leave for you, and you know they'll say like, sometimes they'll say something like, careful, there's a trap ahead, or something like that. Sometimes there's a smart ass who's like, hey, no, it's totally safe, don't worry. You can also see these blood echoes where people have died, and you can see kind of, it almost shows up in like this weird hologrammy looking thing, you know, shows you where they died and how they died. It doesn't show you what they were fighting, but if you know the area, you can kind of surmise what happened. And then, of course, there are certain areas of the game where a person can invade your game and attack you.
What?
Yeah, no, and there's like a whole meta people have for like leveling your character appropriately and certain stats to be able to take out other people. You know, I picked it up when it was free on
Same.
on the PlayStation Market. I love it. It's quickly become my favorite game. It is so much fun.
Securing the container. Protect the biohazard container.
Hard as balls and require. It is one of those games.
Op 4 eliminated.
I mean, with enough patience and skill, you can get things.
Yeah.
But it does require you to get good.
Get good. Shoot. I don't know.
It's like most of the boss fights are like 1/2 pattern recognition and another half reflex.
Oh, because they all have like a sort of a, what you wanna call it?
Yeah, there is kind of a rhythm to fights, and each boss kind of has a, once you get it down, those patterns, granted some of those patterns are like so quick and so fast that you're gonna die a couple of times before you figure out what they're doing.
You see, my thing is, I love games with a good story. I don't ever try to play a game because it's hard. Like, there was this one game that I have called Forged by Fires or some shit, so Born in Flames, or some word ass game has to do with flames, right? And I can't not get past the first level for the life of me.
Biohazard container located.
Like the first thing you do is go fight this big ass boss, and I keep fucking dying. And I'm like, I have this game on the easiest level. What the fuck? So that's that shit.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's, well, it's definitely one of the hardest games I've ever played, but I picked up on it pretty quickly.
10
But
seconds.
I think that what I like is that there is a lot of really good, so it's like
5 seconds before insertion.
it's kind of a minimalist style storytelling.
Proceed to the biohazard
Yeah.
You're not looking
container and
at
secure it.
elaborate cutscenes or anything like that. There are cutscenes in it, but there's not like a ton of them that interrupt gameplay. You learn a lot of stuff through just like loading screens of information about background and lore. There's notes you find throughout the game that give you background about lore. Things that just... Because apparently, the guy who's the director of these games, he grew up reading like H.P. Lovecraft stuff and things of that nature, and but his translation, they weren't all straight into Japanese, so he had to kind of go off of the English that he knew.
Yeah.
He has this kind of fragmentary kind of look at these stories, and so he kind of gave that same treatment with us.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's all pretty fascinating. It's like, and like, there's not even, there's music that plays during the boss fights, but other than that, you're mostly dealing with just the ambience, so you hear things like when you're just walking through a dark city street, you hear your feet padding on
The water and stuff.
on the cobblestone. Yeah, feet padding on the cobblestone, water dripping, wind blowing through buildings. You can hear like people coughing, screaming, weird things howling in the night. There's one level though that has music playing in the background, and it's not like anything else in the game. It's a very bizarre, uncomfortable feeling level.
Resume securing the container once the threat is neutralized. Secure the biohazard container. 1 op 4 remaining.
Now I have to figure out how I'm gonna beat this upcoming boss without
Op 4
particular
neutralized.
aim.
Mission success.
Okay.
It's possible, but it's way easier when you have this. Because the boss at a certain point, it starts